Welcome to this week's Friday 5 in 5. This week I am talking about 5 things that I really wanted to be better than they ultimately turned out to be. So hi, and I hope you guys have had a great week, and welcome to this week's Friday 5 in 5. As I said in the intro, I'm going to be discussing 5 things to do with photography that I was really looking forward to getting or experiencing, and it just didn't quite turn out how I was hoping. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. But before we talk about that, I've got a couple of other things. Firstly, there'll be no Tesco's interruption today, so good news. Secondly, I want to point you in the direction, as I always do, of someone who I think deserves a little bit of your time and attention. And this week it's an Instagram account, and the Instagram account is called Photography Ghost, and the actual name is _photography_ghost_. So I don't know him at all. He's commented on a few of my Instagram posts, but I got to looking at his feed, and he's a street photographer, and he takes fantastic black and white images, and I always really like pretty much everything he puts up. So if you got 5 minutes, go check it out, see what you think. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. But if street's your thing and black and white's your thing, then definitely this guy is going to be your thing. And another thing I just want to talk about really quickly before we go on is this whole drone debacle that's going on at the moment with Heathrow and previous to that Gatwick. There is no real drone issue. The issue here is that the government are trying to take your mind off the absolute mess they're making of Brexit, and at the same time they want to make it easier to push through legislation stopping hobbyists from using drones, so they can then agree big money deals with the likes of Amazon and other people who want to start doing deliveries by drones without all these hobbyists getting in their way. They're trying to demonize drones and drone users so that they can push through their legislation without any fuss. And also it's a really nice diversion to the absolute they're making over Brexit. So don't buy it, don't buy it. I mean, look, everyone's got a mobile phone nowadays with a camera on. Where are the pictures of these drones? If these drones are all over the place, how could the police take 3 days to find someone using a drone? And how are these drones flying all this time? They've only got like a 15-minute battery life. What have they got? A massive truck with batteries in behind them. So anyway, enough about that. Let's get on to the Friday 5 in 5. So let's talk about 5 things that I was really looking forward to, but ultimately disappointed me. So let's get the clock up here and let's get started. Number 1, drones. Yeah, drones. I know I've just been talking about drones, but look, I wanted to love drones. When I first saw that they were available for an affordable cost, I was straight on it and I wanted to get one. Took it out with me, used it once, took it back, thought it's because it's big and bulky and hefty and that's what it is, so I'll buy a DJI Mavic instead. Took it out on me about 10 times, used it once, I think. So I think the fact is I worked out that they're just not that great. Look, drone footage is amazing for a very small portion of your vlog if you are in somewhere where it's incredibly scenic and you're trying to set the scene and show the majesty of the area that you're in. But what tends to happen is, I find, is that people who have drones, they want to use it. Because I've got a drone, I have a drone, therefore I must use it in every single vlog. A lot of the time it really isn't necessary, and it actually detracts, in my opinion, from the vlog. So yes, overall I've had 4 drones, I've taken back 4 drones, I now have no drones, and I'm perfectly happy without them. Number 2 is Vero. Vero was heralded about a year ago now. It was heralded as this fantastic new social platform to share your images, quality resolution images, not like Facebook where it completely kills the quality of your image, or Instagram where you have to crop it in a certain way. And it also promised not to use algorithms, so the post would show up in a chronological order. So I got on it straight away. I was one of the early adopters of it, and it took me about 3 hours to upload a single photo and about 4 hours to view anyone else's photos on my feed. So it was just like, what is going on? And then I stopped using it, and now I think I've probably posted twice to it in about the last year. Yeah, it was a real letdown in the end from what I was expecting. Number 3 is my Canon 17-40mm f4L lens. I always felt the one thing that I was missing was a wide angle lens, because I really like those big foregrounds you can get with wide angle lens, and also the big skies. I had a look around, and what I really wanted to get was a 16-35mm f4, but as things happen in life, sometimes you can't quite afford what you actually want, so I ended up making do with what I thought was still a very good lens. Took it out, used it a few times, but I was never really that impressed with the sharpness. So do you know what I did? I sold it and I bought the Sony a6000 that I'm now talking to you on now, and I'm so pleased I did that, because when I looked at it, I probably didn't use the 17-40 anywhere near as much as the other two lenses in my bag, and this new Sony is fantastic for street photography. So yeah, the 17-40mm promised a lot, delivered not quite as much. Number 4 on the list is this. It is a Zion Smooth 4 gimbal for my smartphone. Now don't get me wrong, I really love this actually. This is a really good piece of kit. So you're probably asking, what the hell are you putting it on this list for? Well, there are 2 reasons. Number 1 is the fact that it drifts. It has this habit of drifting. It will start, say I'm focusing on a particular area. When I come back to the camera, it's turned sort of 45 degrees and it's looking somewhere completely different. The second thing that annoys me about it is it has this thing here where this is it when it's up and it's using the motor, and apparently you can just switch it into this sort of neutral position. But the problem is what's supposed to happen is you flick this and then it just goes straight back into its, oh yeah, we're level. But what it tends to do is it goes, and it's like, then I have to switch it off and level it back up again and switch it back on again. So that's a bit of a pain. Don't get me wrong, this is a really good piece of kit, but it's just got those annoying things that just stop it from being really good and make it just not quite what I was expecting. And last but not least, number 5 is the GoPro Hero 7 Black, the gimbal killer. It's not a gimbal killer. It is not a gimbal killer. In low light, this thing falls to pieces. The stabilization on it is absolutely shocking. You get judder. You get this sort of like, looks like it's been filmed backwards through a piece of aluminium that someone's doing that to. Yes, it is a good piece of kit, but it's not what I was expecting it to be. I thought that this was going to take away my need for having a gimbal and using my mobile phone for shooting B-roll, and it absolutely doesn't. I've also read on one of the Facebook pages that I follow that it stops recording after an update and you have to reformat it or something. I haven't experienced that yet, but yeah, it is good. It is really good, but it didn't do everything I was expecting it to do, so it is ultimately rather disappointing. So that's it, that's my 5. I hope you found it useful. I hope you found it informative. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you've got a GoPro Hero 7 Black that you absolutely love. Maybe you have a 17-40mm that you swear by. Maybe you love Vero, I don't know. Maybe you're an avid drone pilot and you think that there should be more drone footage in every single vlog. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, that'd be really great. And we can have a discussion about it. As always, if you've got anything that you want me to discuss in this Friday 5 in 5, please drop it down below. I still have lots of topics that I want to cover, including a rant that I'm desperate to do, but I'm sort of a bit scared about at the same time, so I might do that next week. And also don't forget to check out Photography Ghost's Instagram feed, _photography_ghost_, well worth a look, especially if you like street photography and a bit of mono. It's a very good feed, so check that out. And I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you same time next week.